I'm going to talk about 2 out of 3 falls matches that only went 2 falls. This is the Mass Wrestling Fan. And the first 2 out of 3 falls matches that only went 2 falls was the Saturday night's main event, WWF, World Wrestling Federation, 1987, although the show did not air until 1988. It was the defending tag team champions of Strikeforce, Tito Santana and Ricky Martel. And they were defending against Jim Nelson, who had taken on the persona of a communist, Buck Zumhoff. Boris Zukov, not Buck Zumhoff. That's a totally different individual. I should edit this video to just take that name away, but I won't. I don't have the time for that. But Boris Zukov, the Russian sympathizer, the Russian, and Nikolai Volkov. Now, this tag team match was scheduled for 2 out of 3, and a lot of people remembering that the success Nikolai had had with the Iron Sheik a couple of years earlier were expecting that this would go easily 3 falls and possibly a title change. However, Strikeforce came out very strong, using flying form smashes of the burrito, as Tito would use it, and the Boston Crab by Rick Martel. Now, some long-term wrestling fans might recall that Rick Martel was using the submission maneuver of the Boston Crab because he had been humiliated by Stan Hansen, submitting the AWA World Heavyweight Championship to Stan Hansen in December, I believe Christmas night or December 26th, 1985, in I want to say the Meadowlands, or maybe it was St. Paul, Minnesota. The reason being that Rick Martel was now using the submission maneuver in the WWF was as a character trait. He wanted to reboot himself. He wanted to feel better about himself. So they defeated the Russians in 2 straight falls. Very surprising. Now the next situation I want to say was Starrcade, 1993. And it was the undercard of the Ric Flair Big Van Vader matchup. Now this match was for the United States title, the secondary title. And it was Steve Austin, still known as Stunning Steve, I believe. And he was challenging the champion, Dustin Rhodes. And now Dustin Rhodes had a very successful career before he turned homosexual and wrestled as Goldust. Now the match was quite good between these two, Dustin Rhodes and his opponent, Stunning Steve Austin. They had a little bit of color, which means blood. And the match was quite good. However, Steve Austin won the match in 2 straight falls, which was surprising. It was a title change, title opportunity for Steve Austin. As I believe, I could be wrong, but I think he was escorted by Colonel Robert Parker. And the match was quite good. Now, unfortunately for Dustin Rhodes, this put him into a severe depression in which he explored his sexuality, and nothing wrong with that. And he started to express himself as a homosexual competitor named Golden Dust. Later on in the World Wrestling Federation, about a year later, he would have a flying truck match with Crusher Darsaw in the interim, but this match did lead to his eventual depression and radical change in sexuality. So that's the Mass Wrestling Fan with your 2 out of 3 falls. What happens when 2 out of 3 falls is just 2 straight falls? Very interesting topic discussion.